back to my YouTube channel. Today we'll be talking about my childbirth story, and also we'll be talking about postpartum. So when I was pregnant, I was induced when it was time for me to go into labor because I had gestational diabetes, which is just diabetes when you're pregnant. And so that's what I had. So they told me that I can't go to 41 weeks. I have to have Jabari, like, now. So they waited a couple of days to see if I actually needed to be induced. Just waited to see if he was gonna come. Because Jabari was supposed to be born in November. Supposed to be born November 28th is what they predicted. And he was born December 5th. So he was just not trying to come out. And I was doing like walking. I was doing all those little exercises and all that stuff to just bring him down some. Bring him to like, come on, get out. But it wasn't working. So on December 4th, I was induced and I couldn't eat anything at the hospital, which was just horrible because my sister, my boyfriend, my sister's fiance, and then my little brother, they all was there like support, but they all brought like pizza, McDonald's. They're just sitting there just eating and enjoying life, and I'm just sitting there like eating my ice and just like, okay. Well, I got induced, and then like I just basically had to just wait and to see like what was gonna happen. So the whole day, like the whole through the night, well, like half the night, like it started off I was just fine. I was just literally like, okay, nothing's really happening. And then it was like towards like maybe I said like 12 a.m. I started feeling like contractions, and it was bad. I was sitting there because I decided not to take any pain medicine because she asked me, she was like, do you want any pain medicine so you can go to sleep because you're gonna need some sleep, you're gonna need your rest. And I was just like, nah, I don't need no medicine, I got this. And then the contraction started and I was like, no, give me everything. But it was already too late because she was like, it's already 12 a.m. I can't give you any medicine right now. You should have said yes earlier. And I was just like, please, I won't tell anyone. Shh, keep it on the low. Keep it on the low. Between us. But no, she couldn't give me any medicine, so I just had to sit there and wait. And I stayed up the whole night. Like, I stayed up through it all. My boyfriend was sitting in the chair just... And I just stayed up like, help me. And using the bathroom, like when you're, I think it was like 3 centimeters, no, either like 3 or 2 centimeters dilated. And using the bathroom was like just torture. It was terrible, like terrible. Like it felt like, I don't know, it felt like someone was holding to my bladder, just like not letting go, and I'm just trying to let go, and they're just like, no. So using the bathroom was horrible. The next day, you know, the doctors came in and checked me and stuff to see if I was ready to push, and I was like, yes, I am ready to push. Like, let's get this thing rolling. Let's go, let's go, let's go. And so it was my 2 aunts, my grandma, my sister, my boyfriend, and my mom was on FaceTime because she lives in another state. So it was all of them in there cheering me on while I was pushing, and it was just, it was something, because I was pushing and my aunt was like, push like you're pooping. And so I was like, I had that mindset and that's what I was doing, but I was also pooping while I was pushing. So it was like so many people in the room, so many doctors and stuff. I was just like, but I was too like into it to be embarrassed. But after the fact, I was like, did I really? Okay. But yeah, I was pushing and pooping. Pushing and pooping. So where was I? I was pushing, like, and the doctor was just telling me just to breathe, like, and push, like, you just 1, 2, 3, push. And so my aunt and everybody was just like, they were cheering me on, like, 1, 2, 3, push, you got this, come on, you got this. And I was just like, argh. I did what he was like, don't scream and I just breathe it out. Because when you like scream and get crazy, that's when it makes it harder for you to like do it. So I was just like, okay, just you got this, you got this, you got this, you got this. And so finally she was like, I can see his head, I can see his head. And she was like, here, feel his head. And I reached down, I could feel his head, and I was just like, ugh. Weirdest feeling ever. It's feeling a head as it's coming out of your vagina. It's just like, there's some things I didn't need to feel. That was one of them. Like, you could have kept it to yourself. But pushed him out at exactly 12:01 p.m. is when he entered the world. And after about 30 minutes of pushing, that's when he entered the world. On December 5th, 2018.
Okay.
All right. And when he came out, he was just like, he was crying a little bit, and then he laid on my chest, and I was just like, oh my gosh. I didn't cry or anything, which I'm surprised about because I'm a sensitive person, and usually I cry like everything. I was just kind of like, I just had a baby. Like, it blew my mind. Like, I know I was pregnant for 9 months, and I was just kind of like, okay, I'm pregnant. But when you have the baby, it's just like, I just gave birth to like a person, like a whole person. I just gave birth to a whole person. And like, it's crazy. It's mind-blowing. So he was crying. Like, he cried for a little bit, but then he lay on my chest and I was just rubbing him like, shh, and he went back to sleep. You were somewhere for 9 months, and then you enter somewhere else, and the first thing you do was just sleep. So they weighed him, and everybody was like, no, the doctor was just like, okay, what's you guys' estimate? Like, how big do you think he is? And everybody was like, 6 pounds, 7 pounds, stuff like that. But then my boyfriend, he was like, 8 pounds. And they were all like, 8 pounds? It's like, I'm skinny. And so my bump was just like this. Like, basically, kind of like, that's how it looked. That's exactly how it looked. So everybody was like, 8 pounds, 8 pounds, 8 pounds. And then they weighed him, and he was like, 8 pounds, 2 ounces. And they were like, what? What? And they're like, oh, your weight was in your belly. Giving birth, I didn't get an epidural. I decided to do all natural. But the contractions, I see why people get epidurals, because the contractions are like terrible. 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 It made me want to get epidural, but I was like, no, I got this. I got this. And so after giving birth, went to another room and just was in there for a couple of days. And that's when we came home. Like, after, like, I think it was, like, 3 days. I think it was, like, 3 days. And that's when we came home. And that's just, like, the birth story. And I'm breastfeeding Jabari, my son. And breastfeeding at the hospital, like, it was like they had somebody in there just to like show you how to do it, show you how to burp and stuff like that. And so at the hospital, it was like, okay, this is easy, I got this. I get home and it's like, so it was like he wouldn't really latch on to both of them. He would latch on to one of them. So I was like, okay. And so one was just fine. Like, one boob was just fine. Like, got this. The other one was just all like big from all like the milk not being pumped or breastfed, because I'm not pumping either. So it was just sitting there like, help me. So I was like, you gotta latch onto this one. So I was trying to get him to latch on to this one, and it was so difficult because he would drink some out of it, but then he'd be like, I'm done. I'm going to sleep. I'm tired of this. So that, like, I ended up getting him to breastfeed somehow off the other one, so they were okay. But then out of nowhere, like, I think it was like the next day, they both were just huge. Like, they were huge. And it was engorgement. Like, they both were engorged. But I didn't know that. I didn't know they were engorged. I didn't hear about that. No one told me about that. Them being engorged, like, engorged after you came from the hospital, like, just for milk purposes. I don't know, look it up. And I thought they were metastasis. I don't know how you say it, but that's what I thought it was. Because basically what that is like, when you have, like, your milk duct is, like, full or whatever, or, like, no, it can't, like, you know what it is. So it can't pump or whatever. You're supposed to, like, rub it out, whatever, because it's not a good thing, basically. It's not a good thing. So that's what I was thinking. So I'm thinking like both of these have metastasis, and I'm about to lose both of my boobs. I'm gonna be boobless. So I'm just like, okay, I need to figure out something to do. I need to do something. So I'm like trying to like pump my boobs, like just squeezing and just whoosh, into a cup to try to get it to relax, because it hurts. It hurt so bad. So I'm just like, I need some relief. Like, come on, help me. But no, it ended up going away after like 2 days, and I was like so grateful. I was so grateful, because that was just, it was terrible. So after a couple of days of just breastfeeding and stuff, I got into the hang of it. It got a lot easier being able to take care of a newborn and all that stuff. I was like, okay, I'm like the champion right now. But then like one morning I wake up and one boob is like just fine, and the other one is like just limp. And I'm just like, what's going on? Like, what is this? Like, what's wrong with you? Hello, you have work to do. But it was because I pumped more off one breast, and the other one just gave up on life and was like, I'm done. And so I had to start pumping off of this breast, and after like a week or so, it went back into function. But it was like, this one was like this, and this one was like that for a while, so it's a weird sight. I did not like looking at my boobs in the mirror. I'm gonna say that right now. It was terrible. Looking at myself in the mirror, I'm gonna be honest, looking at myself in the mirror after having a baby, I was just like, what have I done to myself? What have you done to me? Because I was like, oh Lord Jesus. But I'm 4 months postpartum now, and breastfeeding it's a piece of cake now. At the beginning, I was like, couldn't get him to latch on sometimes. Milk was squirting everywhere. Milk was always on my shirts, because I decided not to get like those breastfeeding shirts, because I thought, again, I got this. Milk was always on the front of my shirts, like my boobs were sweating or something. Like my boobs were sweating or something. And so it was terrible at the beginning. But once, after a couple months down, you'll get the hang of it. It'll be like, let's go, let's do this, I got this. But I also have diastasis recti, which is basically when your abdomens are instead of like going like this, they're separated, which is also something I didn't know about, and something the doctors didn't diagnose me with. You can actually self-diagnose it. There's videos and tutorials and books and all that stuff about it. And so basically you just have to, God bless you, you just have to do little exercises to get it back right, which is what I'm doing now. Just like little ab type exercises to get yourself together, get your abdomen together. And that's going okay. My belly still looks like I could possibly be a couple of months pregnant, to my disgust, because I thought when the baby came out, I would have like a six-pack. I mean, I didn't have the six-pack at the beginning, but I thought maybe God was like, you gave birth, here's a six-pack. But he didn't, so I'm still got a little some up there, but hopefully that goes away magically at night. Hopefully my abs just like come together. They just like, you know, finally be like, you know what, let's stop playing and come together. And I just look like a supermodel in the morning. You know, my boobs stopped hanging so low, and I just decided to just get up. Maybe, you know, you never know. It might happen, you know? I'm kind of hoping it will. Like, I wake up and I'm just like, whoosh, whoosh, you know? When you give birth, you gotta look awful. Like, I looked awful. But it's like, you did this for your baby or your babies. You did it for them. And I love Jabari so much, I would do it all over again, because I love him so much. Even though I look like a sack of potatoes, I would do it all over again. Okay guys, that's all for me. You guys, if you guys will subscribe, like, and comment. Thank you, Jabari. That would be great.